Inside a house, Emily is babysitting two kids, Mark and Marina. They tell her about a monster in the closet that eats people's skin. She checks it out and blocks the door with a chair. To further ease their fear, she asks Marina to sleep with her brother and exits the room. She goes downstairs, grabs a soda, and dances to music. Soon enough, she hears the garage door opening and instantly wraps up everything. She gets prepared to greet the parents, but there is nobody there. She walks out and sees the garage door is open. She finds it unusual and walks out. She begins smoking and just then she notices something on the road and proceeds. Is a dead dog on the road. She assumes it was hit by a car and returns to the house. Outside it has started thundering and this time she is shocked noticing what's in front of her. She thinks it is Mark's doing and goes to confront him in a room, finding that the chair has fallen and the closet is open. She finds everything okay and exits seeing that Marina is not there. She is in the other room listening to music. Emily thinks that the note is written by her, but she is only shocked to see the wrong grammar. Emily doesn't believe her and gets out and finds all the photo frames lying on the floor. She is exhausted, thinking it has to be Mark, and after picking them up, she heads to his room. Now, there is another note with the bear. The closet is open again, and the chair has fallen. She still manages to keep her courage, shuts it down and gets out to pick up the rest of the frames, but it isn't over yet. The door opens to another room. She walks there and gets threatened by lightning. Then someone passes behind her. She reaches Marina's room and finds herself gagged with another message. Scared, she runs to call the police, but the wire is cut. She rushes to the telephone downstairs and the television is on playing a strange video of a masked person who is behind her and attacks her. Dina has returned to her town after many days. She is startled by her old friend Chad with a camera. As he sees who it is, he shuts the camera down. From inside comes their other friend Willis. He asks her if they are good and she nods and walks on. She heads to a drugstore and sees Officer Elizabeth. She grabs medicine for her father. Meanwhile, the town sheriff Rodney finds a box on his doorstep. He takes it inside and finds a garage remote inside it. Dina goes to her friend Hattie's house, who is very excited to see her after a long time. They drink coffee and chat.
Atti Babysitter son, Max.
His mother has passed away in a car accident. Rodney reaches the house where Emily was killed with his associate Butch, who wonders why they are there. He then hands him the remote and asks him to press the key. Apparently, their garage door opens. Dina reaches her house and meets her mother. She proceeds to see her father and tell him about school, but he is mostly numb. There, she finds a tape recorder and takes it. Later, her mother informs her that Hattie has called, saying it's an emergency. The cops head to the station where the receptionist hands Rodney another box. He opens and finds a cassette on which is written Night of the Reaper. They play it and see footage of a guy camping in a forest. He hears a rustling and goes to check it. Upon return, he finds another camera sitting in his camp. He gets it out and the Reaper is behind him, who stabs him to death. Rodney says that it is Alex who was found dead in the jungle 2 years ago, and the police noted it as an accident. Dina calls back Hattie, who tells her that she is terribly sick and requests that she babysit the sheriff's kid. Dina says that she promised to be with her parents the night before, but still agrees to her continuous pleas. Butch and Rodney are on the road when they stumble upon Elizabeth, who is taking care of a dead dog on the street. They get down and inquire about it as she replies that it must have been hit by a car. Rodney mumbles that it is a sign but doesn't proceed with the conversation. They drive on and reach the spot of Alex's death. To their shock, there is another parcel. They take it to the station and play it. Is the footage of Emily's death. After investigating the video, they witness a car parked there and Butch recognizes the number. It is of Chad's. Emily reaches the sheriff's house, which is in the woods. She enters and meets with Max playing games. She introduces herself to him and they get talking. The cops have brought in Chad, and as Rodney enters he starts talking about his rights and asks for a lawyer if he is not arrested. They don't let him go, present him with the cassettes and say that he has something to do with Emily's murder. The evening has fallen and Max is still playing a game. Dina asks him to give her a tour through the house and she will give her a treat. He finally stops the game and gets up. He shows her the house and Dina stops by a door asking where it leads. He says that it is the basement, but they aren't allowed to go there. However, Dina enters anyway. She heads down and finds the stuff of his deceased mother. She sees a wedding dress and Max wishes to go up. She is further startled by a mannequin and proceeds to walk up. They continue the tour and there is another room that she can't open. Max says it's his father's room and there are guns. She then notices his mother's picture and praises him for being so courageous and dealing with it. He then shows her his radio and suggests playing hide and seek. Rodney starts checking up on Chad's video camera as Butch continues telling him that they have to let him go because he has his rights. but he doesn't listen and plays the video of the morning. Dina came to the town. She is playing hide and seek with Max. While looking for him, she heads to the door and notices a figure standing far. She gets scared, turns on a light, and it's still there. She asks Max if he is outside, but there is no response until suddenly the radio cacks and he says he is inside. She notices the figure is gone and re-enters the house. Soon, the phone rings and it is from Rodney, who asks her if everything's all right. She replies positively and continues with the game. Rodney heads to see Chad again and reveals that his van was seen on the night of Emily's murder. He replies that if he's under arrest, he needs a lawyer, otherwise he isn't replying to anything. He then asks if he hasn't done anything, then his friend Willis might have, but he defends him as well. Rodney threatens him and says he will find out. He gets out and asks Butch for help to go search at Willis's house. He replies that there isn't enough evidence to do so. He gets further angrier and sets off, saying he will do it himself. Dina and Max are watching television. She feels a little nervous and wishes to keep her blood moving, suggesting another round of hide and seek, but he replies that he is tired. She lets it go and sits back with him. Eventually, it's bedtime, and after he falls asleep, she goes downstairs to grab a bottle of whiskey and takes a sip. She looks for more and suddenly hears the sound of a dog shrieking from outside. She slowly gets out and approaches a dead dog. She feels someone's presence in the woods and soon the door bangs behind her. She quickly rushes back in. Rodney reaches Willis's apartment and presses the buzzer, but there is no response. Soon a girl gets out to walk her dog, and as she leaves he stops the door to enter. Dina has called animal support to inform them about the dog, and they told her that they will pick up in the morning. She returns to drinking and then hears thumping sounds from upstairs. She slowly proceeds upstairs to check on Max, and he appears to be asleep. Suddenly, she hears the TV turned on and rushes to turn it off. Meanwhile, Rodney has entered Willis's house and starts checking out stuff. He is startled by music coming from the other room. He proceeds to walk there and finds another tape over the bed with the same title. Willis has come in by the time, and in frustrated anger, he punches him in the face. Dina chats with Hattie on the phone because she feels scared. Once again hears a thud sound from upstairs and calls Max, wondering if it might be him, but there is no response. Just then, Hattie hears her doorbell ring. Dina requests that she not go, but she has to and hangs up the call. Then again, the terror begins for Dina as the sounds continue coming from upstairs. Further, she notices that the basement door is open. She walks down and sees the wedding dress hanging. Terrified, she runs back. She instantly tries to call Hattie, but she doesn't pick up. She heads to Max's room and warns her that if is all his doing, she is not having it. But it's all quiet. She gets out and further sees another door opening. She walks there and then again some sound comes from down. This time she notices that over Max's mother's photo, her accident news is placed. She runs downstairs and is startled hearing the sound of a glass shattering. It has come in from the locked room, and as she goes to check it out, she finds the door open. Rodney brings in Willis and Chad is let go. He is shocked to see Willis like that as he is taken away. Meanwhile, keeping Butch outside, Rodney locks himself inside the room and plays the video. Apparently is the footage of his wife's death. She hits the tree, distracted by the Reaper, but is still alive. As the Reaper continuously bashes her head on the wheel to finish her, Rodney is completely devastated seeing that. Dina enters the room and finds the window broken. She notices the investigation that Rodney has been doing. This time, another bang occurs and she hears footsteps approaching her. She runs down and instantly calls 911 as panic eats her up. Rodney enters the interrogation room and asks Butch out of there. He tries to prevent him but eventually leaves. He pushes him against the wall, threatening him with a gun, asking about the footage. He replies that he was asked to give it to him. He questions who, and suddenly Butch renters say they have got an emergency. The entire police squad prepares to leave. The Reaper with his camera and a knife is at Max's bed. He hears Dina calling the police from downstairs and quietly approaches. The police have apparently reached the drugstore because they have received call that someone has left a bag with a bomb there. Apparently, the Reaper witnesses that is merely a recording of Dina playing over the table. He grabs it up and soon Dina comes from behind to taser him with a smile on her face. He is in the chair and in front is played the footage of Emily's final moments. Then the footage moves to Dina wearing a mask. She says that she knows everything about the Reaper. Meanwhile, the Reaper opens their mask and it is Officer Elizabeth. Dina has planned this all along. She left some pills and had his coffee to intentionally make her sick. And then when Max fell asleep, she secretly asked Willis in to help him take away, whereas she kept the mannequin in place of him in the bed. Willis has taken Max to Hattie's place and things are explained to her. In the morning, Dina has also left the bag in the drugstore and makes sure she is seen on camera. She then calls 911 informing them about the bomb. Elizabeth exits a room and begins to find knives in the kitchen, but there are none. This time, Dina plays the game with her, sticking up the photos of her victims along with a message. She heads upstairs and finds a radio. Meanwhile, Rodney receives a call from the police as they have figured out who left the bomb. Dina is giving hints on the radio to find her. After searching through the entire house, she witnesses her outside, signaling with a flashlight. Dina has worn makeup and lets her follow her as she enters a crowd of skull dolls. Once Elizabeth is there, she comes from behind and shoots her in the leg. She approaches her, revealing that she murdered her sister Emily and destroyed their family. It is a payback and she wants her to hear her name the last before she dies. She attempts to pull the trigger and Elizabeth starts to laugh. She halts and just then Chad comes from behind and strikes her with a log. They drag her into the house. Rodney continues trying his house, but no responses arrive. He rushes out. Dina is half awake as she sees Chad is taking care of Elizabeth's wound. She tells Elizabeth that she has made a mistake because she appeared at her sister's funeral and she followed her home. She teases her saying, "What kind of hunter doesn't know they are being hunted?" Chad brings in a scarf to bandage her. Dina teases him this time saying how his father has always abused him, that he has found a parent figure in Elizabeth. Feeling ashamed, he screams at her saying she is an artist and she is just jealous because Elizabeth made Emily famous. Chad is freaking out saying they are now going to get caught. Elizabeth reassures her saying they have gone unnoticed this far and they will go more. So Dina tells her that she has noticed them and just then Willis's voice is heard from the radio. She teases them again saying they aren't in control. He angrily grabs the radio and just as he responds his head blasts open. Dina gets up seeing blood everywhere as Elizabeth jumps at her. She is tied to a chair and Elizabeth plays her sister's tape in front of her. She brags about how she has slowly finished her sister and she should see it before her death as well as she stabs her leg. She is then about to finish her fully, but Rodney gets in and shoots her. He is worried about his son, but Dina tells him that he is safe at Hattie's place. Then he unmasks her and is shocked to see her, but Elizabeth tries to pretend that it is all Dina's doing and she has killed all of them. But it's not so believable and as she attempts to take the knife, he shoots her down. It is revealed that Dina sent him the packages for him to know the truth and is shown her face on the camera. So now they will reach the house soon enough. However, before Rodney calls the police in, she stops him knowing she will be charged. Rodney says Elizabeth will be reported missing. They will reach her house, find all the evidence that he has been the killer and how she has set her up for the bomb as well. Everything goes as planned. A memorial for Emily is held. They all remember her. If you enjoyed the video, press the like button. And for more content like this, stay subscribed to the channel.